Hi, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this. How many relationships crumble? Not because of a lack of love, but because of behaviors that slowly erode the very fabric of connection. Today we delve into an essential topic: 9 things a woman should not do with a man. Why? Because relationships are the core of human existence, and understanding the dynamics within them can define the difference between harmony and chaos. This isn't just about keeping a man, it's about building something meaningful, something rooted in mutual respect, growth, and understanding. And if you think this speech is about pointing fingers, let me stop you right there. This is a mirror for reflection, a chance to understand behaviors that we might unknowingly perpetuate, harming not only the other person, but ourselves. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll have the tools to create relationships that are not only stronger, but deeply fulfilling. Respect isn't optional. Men, like women, thrive in environments where they feel valued and honored. At the core of every relationship is mutual respect, an understanding that each person has inherent worth and dignity. For men, respect goes beyond just polite words or gestures. It's a reflection of how they are treated and how their contributions are acknowledged. When a woman undermines this respect through criticism, dismissiveness, or disrespectful behavior, it chips away at the foundation of the relationship. Men, by nature, often seek to build their identities through their accomplishments, their work, and the way they provide for and protect those they care about. This doesn't mean they lack vulnerability or need constant admiration, but it does mean that a woman's words and actions can significantly impact their sense of self-worth. When a woman consistently belittles his efforts, critiques his actions harshly, or mocks his opinions, she communicates that his value isn't genuine. This can make him feel insignificant, unloved, and unappreciated. Respect is about recognizing the worth of the man as an individual, not just as someone who fulfills a role or meets certain expectations. It's acknowledging his dreams, his thoughts, and his feelings with openness and consideration. By respecting his opinions, even if they differ from your own, you're showing that you see him as more than just someone who has to agree with you. You're honoring his autonomy and his capacity to think for himself. Respect involves treating him with kindness and fairness, not just during moments of agreement, but even in times of disagreement or conflict. When disagreements arise, a respectful approach doesn't turn into yelling, blaming, or shutting down. It remains constructive, seeking to understand rather than to dominate. A man's need for respect isn't about arrogance or egotism. It's about ensuring that both partners feel equal in their contributions and treated fairly in their relationship. When respect is maintained, it fosters trust, a trust that allows both individuals to feel safe in expressing their true selves. Without this trust, vulnerability becomes difficult, as people begin to guard themselves against the possibility of being hurt or diminished. And once trust is lost, it becomes a long and difficult journey to rebuild it. Respecting a man is about honoring the entirety of who he is, the strengths he brings, the values he upholds, and the potential he holds for growth. By cultivating this respect, a woman creates not only a stronger connection, but a deeper bond, one rooted in mutual understanding and admiration. And it is through this respect that relationships become enduring, fulfilling, and truly meaningful. Dependency, whether emotional or financial, places undue pressure on any relationship and can lead to resentment and imbalance. In healthy relationships, both individuals should maintain a sense of autonomy, allowing for individual growth while also supporting each other. Over-relying on one partner, whether it's emotionally, financially, or even physically, creates an unhealthy dynamic where one person's needs dominate, while the other becomes a caretaker or provider. This imbalance often results in one person feeling burdened and the other feeling resentful, which can erode the foundation of trust and mutual respect. If you believe you aren't getting enough, it's easy to fall into the, okay, this is just how life is. When a woman becomes too dependent on a man, whether for emotional validation, financial support, or even basic companionship, it can put immense stress on the relationship. Emotional dependence in particular can cause a person to rely solely on their partner for happiness, leading to codependency. This behavior stifles personal independence and prevents both individuals from pursuing their individual goals. No one person should bear the responsibility for the emotional well-being of another completely. While relationships should be nurturing, each person must also have their own sources of happiness, purpose, and fulfillment. Financial independence is another dangerous pitfall. While it might seem convenient to lean on a partner for financial support, it robs you of the chance to cultivate your own financial security and self-sufficiency. Becoming financially dependent can create a power imbalance, where one partner feels they hold control over key aspects of life, whether it's making decisions about spending, savings, or future plans. This dynamic often leads to feelings of resentment, as financial independence is closely tied to personal freedom and empowerment. When both partners are able to contribute financially, regardless of the amounts, it ensures that each person feels they have a hand in shaping their shared life together. True partnership thrives on interdependence, not one person carrying the other, but both individuals supporting each other in equal measure. It's about sharing responsibilities without compromising your own individuality. This means cultivating your own passions, maintaining your friendships, pursuing your career goals, and seeking fulfillment outside the relationship, while also contributing to the shared life. This balanced interdependence creates a healthier, more sustainable relationship where both partners can bring their best selves to the table without feeling overwhelmed by the other's needs. Dependence stifles personal growth. When you depend on your partner for your happiness, emotional support, or stability, you become less motivated to work on yourself. It's crucial to recognize that personal growth doesn't stop once you're in a relationship. It should continue to thrive. A woman who remains dependent risks falling into routines where she focuses solely on the relationship and neglects her own personal development. This is a recipe for long-term dissatisfaction and resentment, not only toward her partner, but toward herself. Growth, whether emotionally, intellectually, or professionally, should be an ongoing pursuit, enriching both individuals in the relationship and making them better versions of themselves. Independence is about empowerment. It's about knowing that you have the strength to navigate life's ups and downs, with or without the presence of a partner. An interdependent relationship allows both individuals to lean on each other when necessary, but without ever losing sight of who they are outside of that relationship. By fostering independence while nurturing the connection with a partner, a woman creates a foundation for a relationship that is equal, fulfilling, and truly enduring. Respecting a man's boundaries, just as you expect yours to be respected, is vital for a balanced relationship. Every individual has personal limits, whether they pertain to time, space, communication, or emotional capacity. These boundaries serve as a protective measure, helping individuals maintain their mental and emotional health while fostering a sense of independence. When a woman disregards a man's boundaries, whether by intruding on his alone time, ignoring his need for space, or pushing him to overshare, she communicates that her desires are more important than his well-being. This lack of consideration can lead to feelings of being overwhelmed, frustrated, or disconnected, which ultimately damages the relationship. Boundaries are not walls that keep people apart. They're signs of self-respect and an understanding of personal limits. A man, like any person, needs space to think, reflect, and recharge. Overstepping those boundaries, whether it's by assuming he'll always have time for you, pressing him to respond instantly to messages, or demanding immediate attention, robs him of that space. Now, this kind of intrusion can make him feel suffocated, as though his time, his thoughts, and even his personal choices are no longer his own, but constantly being dictated by someone else's needs. Respecting boundaries is also about acknowledging and accepting someone's emotional capacity. Not everyone processes emotions at the same speed or in the same way, and some men may need more time to process what's happening emotionally. Constantly pushing a man to open up, share feelings, or talk things through, especially when he isn't ready, can lead to resistance, frustration, and the eventual withdrawal. It's crucial to understand that everyone has different ways of dealing with emotions, and respecting those differences fosters better communication and deeper trust over time. Ignoring boundaries can also impact a man's sense of self-worth. If a woman repeatedly disregards his limits, whether it's his desire to keep certain aspects of his life private, his preference for dealing with stress on his own, or his need for downtime, it sends a message that what he wants and needs isn't important. Over time, this can make him feel undervalued, as though his feelings and desires are unimportant or insignificant. A man, like anyone, needs to feel safe in a relationship. Safe enough to express himself, to maintain his individuality, and to pursue his own passions. When his boundaries are constantly ignored, that safety erodes, making him feel disconnected and unappreciated. Respecting boundaries teaches both partners how to communicate in a healthy and productive way. When a woman respects a man's personal space or emotional limits, it encourages mutual understanding and trust. It sets a precedent that in this relationship, both people's needs are equally valued, and neither person is expected to sacrifice their autonomy for the other. A healthy relationship isn't about controlling or dictating the other person's actions. It's about working together in a way that allows each person to grow while still being connected. Learning to respect boundaries leads to deeper, more meaningful interactions, as both individuals feel free to be their authentic selves without fear of judgment or invasion. So, advancing is acceptance of the social reality that we all live with, and that goes beyond just respecting boundaries is about fostering mutual care and understanding. It's a demonstration of emotional intelligence, a sign that you value your partner's individuality, that you care about their mental well-being, and that you understand the importance of space. By honoring a man's boundaries, you allow the relationship to flourish in a way that's healthy and sustainable. Both partners can thrive when their personal limits are acknowledged and respected, creating a relationship that is built on trust, freedom, and mutual growth. Neglecting your self-development to prioritize the relationship creates long-term dissatisfaction and imbalance. Personal growth is a vital component of any healthy relationship. It's what allows individuals to bring their best selves into the partnership and ensures that both partners continue to evolve together. When a woman sacrifices her own development, whether it's her career goals, her personal interests, or her sense of individuality, in order to focus solely on the relationship, she sets herself up for resentment and dissatisfaction. Over time, this imbalance creates a disconnect where one person feels drained while the other thrives at the expense of their partner's well-being. Self-development isn't about putting the relationship first. It's about enhancing yourself so you can show up as a stronger, more fulfilled partner. It involves continuously learning, growing, and striving to become the best version of yourself. This can mean pursuing your career ambitions, honing your skills, exploring new interests, and maintaining friendships that nurture your personal growth. When these aspects are neglected in favor of solely catering to the relationship, it not only deprives you of personal fulfillment, but also deprives the relationship of the richness that comes from two people who are thriving individually. When a woman focuses entirely on the relationship and disregards her own personal development, she may start to feel a sense of stagnation. Stagnation in any area, whether emotional, intellectual, or spiritual, leads to boredom and a lack of fulfillment. In such situations, resentment may build as she begins to feel she has given up too much of herself. This resentment can then be projected onto her partner, creating tension and conflict, and ultimately leading to dissatisfaction within the relationship. When self-development is sacrificed, it often results in a loss of confidence. A confident woman is someone who knows her worth, values her capabilities, and believes in her ability to contribute to both her own life and the lives of others. When personal growth is set aside, that confidence can wane, making it difficult to navigate challenges and communicate effectively in the relationship. This can lead to an unhealthy dynamic where one partner becomes the dominant figure and the other is left feeling inferior or unsupported. A relationship thrives when both individuals bring their fullest potential to the table. When a woman actively works on herself, developing her talents, setting goals, and pursuing her passions, she becomes someone who can inspire and uplift her partner rather than relying solely on the relationship to bring her joy and purpose. Personal growth isn't a selfish act. It's one that enriches both partners and deepens the connection. It allows for healthier communication, mutual respect, and a shared sense of accomplishment. Self-development is an essential part of living a fulfilled life, and it should never be sacrificed for the sake of a relationship. Both partners benefit when each individual prioritizes their own growth. When they nurture their own interests, goals, and passions, they create a relationship that is built on equality, balance, and mutual support. A woman who continuously invests in her own personal development not only enhances her own life, but also brings vitality and energy into the relationship, making it stronger, more dynamic, and deeply rewarding. Criticism, when not delivered with care and consideration, can erode a man's confidence and stability in a relationship. Constructive feedback has the potential to help individuals grow, but criticism, when it becomes repetitive and harsh, can be damaging, especially when it focuses solely on a person's flaws, mistakes, or perceived inadequacies. Men, like women, want to feel appreciated and valued for who they are. Constant criticism not only erodes his self-esteem, but also chips away at the emotional bond between partners, creating a cycle of frustration, hurt, and distance. When criticism is relentless and dismissive, it sends the message that he is not good enough, no matter how much effort he puts into pleasing his partner. Men thrive on feeling capable and competent, and while they are open to feedback, they respond poorly to negativity without encouragement or praise. Repeatedly pointing out what he's doing wrong instead of acknowledging his efforts or highlighting what he does well can make him feel defeated and insecure. This type of behavior leads to a decrease in his confidence, as he starts to believe that he cannot meet the expectations placed upon him, regardless of his intentions or actions. Criticism can also breed resentment. When a woman constantly focuses on what a man lacks or what he could do better without acknowledging his strengths, he may begin to feel undervalued and unappreciated. Resentment often builds slowly, first as disappointment and eventually as frustration. When he feels that his efforts are unseen or that his partner is overly fixated on what he could improve, this can lead to defensive behavior, withdrawal, or even passive-aggressive responses as he begins to disengage from the relationship in an effort to protect his emotional well-being. Criticism can lead to a breakdown in communication. When feedback is harsh, accusatory, or dismissive, it makes open, honest conversations difficult. Rather than fostering an environment of mutual understanding, criticism silences dialogue. This results in both partners feeling unheard and misunderstood, ultimately creating a distance where neither feels comfortable expressing themselves fully. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship, and when criticism replaces genuine conversation, misunderstandings multiply, leaving the relationship vulnerable to conflict and isolation. Effective feedback should be constructive, specific, actionable, and delivered with kindness. Men, like anyone, respond well when they feel that criticism is meant to help them improve rather than to tear them down. A balance between pointing out areas for growth and celebrating what he's doing right allows for a healthy exchange that fosters mutual respect and personal development. Encouragement, in contrast, builds confidence and motivation, making men feel supported and capable of achieving more. Criticism without care and context is a poison in relationships. It weakens the foundation of trust, erodes self-esteem and fosters resentment. A relationship should be a space where both partners feel empowered, respected, and appreciated. Constructive feedback can strengthen a connection, but harsh criticism, especially when it lacks balance, is a path toward disconnect and dissatisfaction. By learning to provide feedback in a compassionate, thoughtful way, a woman helps her partner feel seen, valued, and motivated to be his best self, strengthening the bond they share. Overanalyzing every situation can create unnecessary tension and make a relationship feel suffocating. While it's natural to want to understand your partner, their actions, or the dynamics at play, obsessing over minute details or overanalyzing every conversation, behavior, or situation leads to unnecessary stress. Men, like women, sometimes process things more naturally and don't need constant probing or deep analysis to feel secure in the relationship. When a woman continuously overthinks or overanalyzes, whether it's his words, his decisions, or his actions, it creates a feeling of pressure where he feels he's being scrutinized or watched for every small move. Overanalyzing can quickly spiral into distrust. Constantly picking apart a partner's behavior or searching for hidden meanings in everything they do can lead to suspicion and insecurity. When every word, gesture, or decision is met with an in-depth evaluation, it makes the man feel as though he's being second-guessed at every turn. This can cause him to feel as though he can't act naturally or freely express himself without fear of judgment. Over time, this type of behavior can build resentment, as he begins to feel like his every move is being dissected and judged, rather than accepted for what it is. Men often thrive in relationships where they feel trusted and respected for their intentions. Overanalyzing strips that trust away, making it feel like he's constantly being questioned or watched. When a woman consistently overthinks situations or constantly interprets his actions in negative ways, it sends a message that she doesn't fully trust him or believe in his decisions. This can erode the connection, making it harder for both partners to feel secure in each other's company. In healthy relationships, there should be space for both individuals to feel comfortable in their actions without the fear of scrutiny or over-examination. Overanalyzing can stifle spontaneity. Life and relationships are meant to be fluid, where small surprises and unplanned moments bring joy and excitement. When everything is analyzed and picked apart, spontaneity becomes impossible. The need to control every aspect of a situation, overanalyzing his responses, reading too deeply into subtle changes in mood, or overthinking conversations creates an environment where both partners feel pressure to behave a certain way. This leads to stress, lack of authenticity, and a loss of natural connection, making it difficult to simply enjoy moments as they unfold. Overanalyzing also prevents clear communication. Instead of addressing things as they naturally arise, a woman who overanalyzes may start to read too deeply into what isn't being said, interpreting things that weren't even meant in a particular way. This can cause misunderstandings, as assumptions start to take precedence over actual dialogue. Communication becomes clouded, making it harder to express thoughts openly and leaving both partners feeling confused about each other's intentions. True connection in a relationship comes from trusting your partner and allowing things to unfold organically. There's a balance between wanting to understand someone and giving them the space to be themselves. By learning to let go of the need to overanalyze every detail, a woman creates room for genuine interactions, free from the weight of excessive scrutiny. Each chapter goes into great detail on many deeps, supported by practical reflections, which will give you practical tools. This approach fosters trust, mutual understanding, and a sense of ease, where both partners can feel secure enough to express themselves naturally and build a bond that is built on openness, not overthinking. By becoming more aware and resourceful, we can expand the abilities of our relationships and our capabilities to afford love, rather than constrain it. In conclusion, the foundation of any healthy and lasting relationship is built on mutual respect, independence, clear communication, and the understanding that both partners must maintain their individuality while working together as a team. A woman's actions, whether it's avoiding dependency, respecting boundaries, focusing on her personal growth, giving constructive feedback, or refraining from overanalyzing play a crucial role in creating an environment where both individuals can thrive. When a woman recognizes the importance of these dynamics, she empowers herself and her partner to grow, fostering a relationship that is balanced, fulfilling, and truly enduring. It's in these small, intentional choices that honor both partners' needs that true connection and lasting love are built. By committing to these principles, she not only strengthens her bond with her partner, but also ensures that the relationship is one where both individuals feel seen, valued, and supported in every aspect of their lives.